at work. My boss came in the room. He told me to drop what I was doing, so his secretary hit the floor. Later that day, I was driving down the street. I noticed all the houses had doodles drawn on them. I thought, this is a pretty sketchy neighborhood. Speaking of sketches, they've opened up a museum of Charles Schulz's drawings. The art critics really hate the place. The other day I started reading a review of it. I was like, alright, that's enough from the peanut gallery. Which reminds me, I've got peanuts stuck in my teeth from last night. I didn't eat peanuts, but my girlfriend did. She's always giving me a hard time. The other day she came up to me, she's like, have you been cheating on me with some back burner bitch? I was like, I would never do that to you. You're the back burner bitch. I had to get a side girl because my main girlfriend told me she doesn't believe in premarital sex. I was like, it's not premarital sex if I have no intention of marrying you. She was like, you men are all cockroaches. I was like, that's not true. A cockroach can survive 2 whole weeks with no head. I don't know who she thinks she is anyway. I mean, she's not so perfect herself. Just last night, she got all drunk. She was all sick and throwing up and everything. She asked me to help her out. I was like, oh, sure. Now you want me to pull your hair back. I like to drink, but I try to keep it in moderation. One time I got so drunk at a party, it wasn't until I sobered up I realized I was actually at a funeral. I thought, man, I totally shouldn't have drawn dicks on that passed out guy's mouth. I'm just kidding. I don't have a girlfriend. She broke up with me. I asked her why. She said, it's like the song says, if you liked it, you should have put a ring on it. I was like, wait a minute, before you told me you didn't want to get your clit pierced. I didn't understand that though, because she's into S&M, and her new boyfriend is a boxer. It's like perfect, because he's into fist fighting, she's into fight fisting. I met this other girl. I asked her for her number. She told me it's 2855-7448. I called bullshit. They say guys tend to be attracted to women who remind them of their mothers, which explains why I'm a necrophile. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I'm trying to improve myself. See, people describe me as a guy who'd fuck anything that moves, and I thought, why should I limit myself like that? Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is to feel more adequate. See, this way I'm not the only limp one. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I have empathy. When rigor mortis sets in, I take a Viagra, that way she's not the only stiff one. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is to feel empowered. I like to pretend it's what I'm doing that's making her eyes roll back in her head. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I'm submissive. One time a girl told me she was going to shoot heroin at a party. I was like, can I come? She was like, over my dead body. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I'm patient. A lot of women have told me they'd sooner die than have sex with me. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is I hate being left out. See, if a body's getting buried at sea, I want to get wet too. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I'm boastful. I like to claim I'm the reason she can't walk in the morning. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is the same reason Matthew McConaughey likes high school girls in Dazed and Confused. I keep getting older, they stay the same age. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I'm kinky. See, I like when a woman goes down before sex, so I wait till after the burial. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is because I say a lot of things that make dead people turn over in their graves. And doggy style is my favorite position. Actually, the reason I'm a necrophile is to give people hope. Even if you die a virgin, you get another chance. I lost my virginity in the back of a hearse. A woman was walking by the car. She saw what was going on. That was kind of annoying because the reason I'm a necrophile is so that I don't have to listen to someone scream. After sex, I went home. I was bragging to my brother about it. I was like, smell my fingers, formaldehyde. I'm just kidding. I don't have a brother. I'm a creepy guy. One time in high school, I tried drilling a peephole through the wall of the girls' locker room. Mistakenly, I drilled through the wall that had the used tampon box mounted on it. What I saw made my eyes bleed. Something else that happened in high school was one time my teacher, she asked me to drop off a letter at the special ed classroom. When I went down there, the teacher there thought I belonged in her class. I walked in the room, she was like, "You're tardy." I was like, "The term is mentally challenged." I used to smoke a lot of weed in high school, but I quit so that I could spend more time smoking weed. Even more than doing drugs, though, I love watching movies. One movie I liked a lot growing up was The Wizard of Oz. It's not until after you grow up you realize The Wizard of Oz is basically every kind of porn rolled into one. If you think about it, it's got everything you'll find in porn. It's got midgets. It's got a curious farm girl. It's got the Wicked Witch of the West. As soon as she gets a little wet, next thing you know, her dress hits the floor. It's got the Cowardly Lion and the Flying Monkeys, people in animal costumes. I don't know if anybody could tell, I'm a pretty hairy beast myself. In fact, one time I made my own sex tape, but it turned out so disgusting I threw it into the woods. It didn't end there though, because later on I turned on the news and said footage found of Sasquatch crying for 10 minutes. Speaking of supernatural phenomena, I heard recently there's a woman in Japan somewhere. She's in her 80s. She's the world's oldest working prostitute. Apparently she's been doing that kind of work for about 40 years. I wonder if you do business with this woman, if you get like a t-shirt that says, "I made it with the world's oldest working prostitute, and all I got was this stupid t-shirt." Maybe more words on the back saying, "Actually, I hope that's all I got." I wonder how many times she's gone down in history. I myself call phone sex operators. One time I called one up and she started talking really dirty to me, like way dirtier than I've ever heard before. And right at that moment I got an incoming call, so I was like, "Hi, Grandpa." He was all like, "You ballsy dude, you ballsy dude, you ballsy dude. I can tell what you're up to. I can smell the sex coming through the phone. I think it's great you're finally getting some. Enjoy it while it lasts, my friend, because believe me, once it's gone, it's gone. Your grandma and I haven't had sex in so long, I'm starting to like it when the cat sleeps on my face." I was like, "Grandpa, what are you calling about?" "Oh, my boy, I got some news for you. There's really no good way of saying this, so let me put it this way. If your grandma and I ever did have sex again, it would make me a necrophile." I have a weird family. Like the other day, I was sitting in the kitchen watching porn on my phone, and my dad comes in the room, he's like, "Oh, hey, did the mail come yet?" I was like, "No, this guy's taking quite a while." Then my sister comes in the room, she's like, "I'm hungry." My dad's like, "Hi, hungry, I'm Dad." Then my uncle comes in the room, he's like, "Man, I'm fucking hungry." So my dad shot him. I love the holidays. I love Halloween. I still dress up to pass out candy. This past year I dressed up as a hand, a big 5-fingered hand. You know what they say, dress for the job you want. As I said, I watch porn. At least I used to. I heard watching porn is no substitute for a genuine relationship. So now I only masturbate while watching couples kiss romantically in the park. Last time I did that, I went to the gas station afterwards. I got a cup of coffee. The guy behind the counter was like, "That'll be $1.69. I was like, "Why can't I just pay cash?" Some more words of wisdom for you. Some people say, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. I say, teach a man to think before he says something smells like fish. I'm Noah Chapp. Have a great night.
Noah Chapp, guys. Oh, I tried warning you. I'm sorry.